I haven't done a proper review of this one because there are a million videos already on YouTube, but it's a fantastic piece of gear. I think the tech is still amazing, and I've done profiles of most of the amps that I do own, and they do sound amazing. And the first pedal on this list is a Fjord Fuzz FENRIS. I think it's a pedal that you either love or hate because it's so in your face, it's not subtle at all. It's so vile in a sense that I don't think it's for everyone, but for a lot of us, it's fantastic. And then we have an amp that is kind of hidden in the back right here, and that's a Friedman Dirty Shirley. I've honestly never been able to use Marshall amplifiers. I do love the sound of a Marshall, but for some reason, whenever I plug into one, they sound pretty bad. But at the first 42 Gear Street, I did play a Friedman for the first time, and they did send me a Friedman Dirty Shirley, and it's an amazing Marshall type amp. And then there's another pedal on this list, the Boss SY200 synthesizer. This I've also used a whole lot. I've also talked about it in other videos. It's perfect for me because I do play some synth, but not a whole lot. And it's just a whole lot easier for me to use this one when I'm creating music, basically. And then we have this S-style guitar from Pinehome Guitars. I did a full video of the process on how this guitar was made. I was there for most of that process and filming it. The guitar, how it sounds, the aging is just perfect. It's one of the few colors that I like on S-style guitars, since I'm not a typical Strat guy, but ever since I got this, I played it a whole lot. And if you haven't watched the full video, I will leave a link down below. You should watch that one. And we do have another piece of gear here in the rack. That's the Notes Torpedo Live. And this one has been with me and the channel since the beginning. And it's part of the reason why I started this channel, because I couldn't play loud in my small apartment. But then I got this. And I haven't tried any of the new updated versions from Notes, but I do still think this sounds amazing. I don't use it that often anymore, but sometimes it is just a fantastic piece of gear to own. Hi. Sears Silvertone 1483, originally a bass amp based on a Bassman, and it sounds freaking amazing on guitar. Probably one of my favorite guitar amps ever, and now I'm going to try to show you that tone without close micing it, because sometimes a room mic tells the story a bit better. And if it sounds like crap, that's probably the reason also. also crucial for that tone is this cabinet from Barefaced Audio. It's called the Uprising, but it's on the side right now. But yeah, that's hands down the best cabinet that I have ever owned. Because of the way they have made these cabinets, it's just a whole lot easier to understand your guitar tone, because it's more like similar no matter where you are moving around the room. I used to really hate that with all my amps before, like how it was super trebly in front of it and then you lost all the presence when you moved away from the cabinet. With this one, it's just even more even. And then there's a piece of gear that I don't own anymore, and that's the Tone King Imperial Anniversary Edition, I think it was called. And yeah, it sucks that I don't have it anymore, but I've also come to just understand that I do sell and buy a lot of gear, and that's just the way it is. But yeah, it was an amazing amp, and I do maybe still wish that I had it. I do have a Tone King Sky King, which is also fantastic and very close to how the Imperial sounded, from my memory at least. But still, I think the Imperial was just a tiny bit better, and it was such an amazing amp. So that needs to go on this list. And yeah, talking about it makes me regret selling it, but that's the way it is. And then there's the last pedal on this list, which sits right here on my desk all the time, and that's the Chroma console from Hologram Effects. Yeah, it sits right here. I use it basically all the time when I record guitar. Sometimes just some compression, some drive, some reverb, and sometimes I use a combination of everything on it. And then there's the last piece of gear on this list, and I'm honestly a tiny bit tired of talking about this guitar, because it's a guitar, yes, it's the Fano PX6. I've talked about it a lot. You have seen it on this channel a lot if you have followed me for a while. It's almost like an icon on this channel, because it's been here almost as long as I have been. I did trade it for an R8 many years ago, and it's just a fantastic piece of guitar. I think it's made by Dennis Fano before Dennis left Fano, and it's one of those guitars that makes me want to dive into tone wood and how a guitar is built, because I do have the exact same pickups in a very similar guitar. These are the Lawler Firebird style pickups. They are not mini humbuckers, even though they look like mini humbuckers. And this guitar sounds better than the other one. And I do find that a bit hard to comprehend. I don't understand why, basically. Probably something that I should dive deeper into. But it's fantastic, and that's why it is on top of this list.